This is Gerald Johan van Was and the educational channel related with a book called Sound in Form, also in two separate volumes, The Theory and the application of the word, the extensions. This book is about and could be a first basis with which to learn deliberately a form of synesthesia. We hear words and recognize the sounds, the letters, and it is possible that we do the same thing by using this pattern recognition also visually. And that's the kind of synesthesia that is learned in the book, that you can learn in the book. Just read it through. You will not understand everything, but once you read everything, something will be left in your back of the mind that makes you recognize the patterns that you yourself can recognize. The rules how patterns are forming examples of how they hang together in our mind, the pattern recognition that we use also to recognize faces, to recognize forms, to recognize words, follow certain natural laws so that we make in our minds the most easy solutions, that they fit, that we can remember them well, and that they are fitting with all the other words also and all the other associations that we have, and also with the sounds that are in there. We're not very conscious of this idea, and officially words and letters have no meanings at all, no real meanings at all when you look at the letters themselves or the combinations of letters, simply because the way how the letters combine is not just 1 plus 1, but they mingle their aspects, they mingle their associations, and that makes it a little bit more easy to understand deliberately. But you can, and these videos are meant to guide you and learn it gradually, and also try to recognize it in daily words, in daily reality. So in these videos I will take out very simple words from our daily life and show you how the letters are recognized, and we deal with these letters by naming these words. I'm not going very deep into how this works in this video, or how you can also recognize very detailed features. No, it is about the pattern recognition in this one. There are many ways to do so. I only take it as an intuitive way here, that we can learn it intuitively. And I will take a very simple word in this video. In this video I will take the word egg. The egg in different languages. I will take the English word, the Dutch, the German, the Italian and the Japanese. Why not very more exotic languages? Okay, for us Japanese is an exotic language, but I can sense more or less how the Japanese script is built up very logically and so on. I can't do that for Eastern European languages or certain Eastern language. I have no clue how it's built up, so I'm not going to try any of these as long as I don't know how they have a certain basis on choosing letters. So I deal with these aspects as well. But of course, English, Dutch, German, Italian, they have the same roots, so of course they will fit more or less a lot of times automatically, because the language are influenced by each other. It doesn't matter. Let's take the different words and see how these languages focus upon the object by using different words. We start with egg. Egg has the E and the G. The E, we know it's an area of what is forming itself in development, but in a development which is a steady development, it's truly there. It should be there. Egg is also like the platform on the top. It's an edge, so it's a border that we are sure we have a limited range that we have of a development. So we have the E of the development and the G. This is basically what we pronounce egg. But we also deal with the way how we write it. It's not written as egg with just one G, it's even with a double G. So there is an emphasis which doubles this function of the border there. So the border has to perform into the formation of E what is forming inside. So it's forming inside, it's in development, it's somewhere in the thing, has to have the same thing as a border. This border is also there, so let's combine this extra border as an extra association and reference point, background reference point. And we put that in, we have the full word egg, but of course, as always, we have to our minds will have to make it one whole, a harmonic whole. So I also double it and will have it over the full range of the area where it's performed. And I have the performance of egg. Here you can sense egg. It is a thing in full development, or in development, but also fully formed. It's not just that it's not there yet, it is there yet with a shell. The shell and a border, or a border inside and a border outside. This is already in the word. That's the reference point for the word. Believe me or don't believe me, I don't care if you don't believe me, but that's the reference point that is possible with the word egg. Let's have a small introduction of the vowels, because in lots of these words with egg of egg in different language, there are used different vowels. So let's go and look again where the vowels, which are the spaces where we orient ourselves to, are in the objects that we name. The A is always, it is the physical object itself with a certain size. The O is the surrounding of it. There's a surrounding around it. The A is the enlarged thing, so somewhere it should be enlarged. The E is where something is inserted, something new, somewhere where it isn't immediately available. So in spaces it is like this. So we have the A, the O, the E, that's the sound A, so the A in the first part is actually A, O, E and E. We still are left with U and U. So I'll add them as well. They don't have something physical yet. They are in development. The U underneath, the U also in underneath or in extension, depending on where it will connect. It is somewhere in a developing stage without necessary the full range, let's say.
Um, I will come to the letters U and U some other time, then I will go more into detail what they are. We won't use them much in this video, so I won't go too deep in them. But I had to put them together to give you some reference point. But we have, of course, now in the Dutch word A, we use the written letters of A and E. Together, it means that we have a certain range and something comes in. The A is the area that is widening, broadening most of the time, and the E is somewhere not immediately in the middle, where there is an insert. That's what you have. So we could express it like this, but as the letter, how they are pronounced, we don't pronounce it as a, but as A. So the A with the Y as well. The Y has to make connections in the full range on the outer borders of what we have. We have it slightly adapts in this way to how the egg truly looks like. You can think it is a fantasy, but it is. The letters are directing our mind into the most logical combination. You have the A, the E, and then the Y at the outer border. It has to make the most easy connections. So it is something that directs our mind into that kind of position, believe it or not. But it will be able to fit itself to what the egg is and how it looks like. In German, we also have the word A, but it's pronounced differently. So we have the double A, so it's a double-sized A, and then the E in a way that is the insertion on the A, which has to be slightly off-center. That is more or less what we have, and now pronounced as Y, we have the Y. I, we also know, of course, in the English as I, the I, or from the eyes, which also fits with this pattern underneath, because the pronunciation of I fits in it. But here it is not just pronounced as I, but also written as A plus E. So we have to go and adapt this pattern into the form of A that we had before. So we have here the I with the E. The last point is not so important. It's the connection between that point and the large range, which is important. And when we compare it to A, what we had before, it will be able to adapt in a way that you say, okay, we have a connection between the areas, the different areas. It's the yellow and the white part are connected in one whole. Yes, it is something that you can say it is not the only possibility. Maybe not, but it is very much fitting with what we have here. You can't use it for all kinds of associations. It has to be neared down and to this kind of focus that we have a written word and a word of that is pronounced. There is a separation, so you can have in the I, you also have the idea of the separation of what is as two parts in it is in the word
recognizable. It's different from the other language. That's why we also have an investigation in different languages, so that we don't make any mistakes to pinpoint always in the same direction and say that in every language is the same thing. It's not true. In every language it's not exactly describing the same thing, not always. So because we go next, but we have one letter extra which I didn't have yet. So you have the U and the U, but we can also have the or the The is really the physical pushing down thing, as you can have expressed it here, is something physical, but it's the downwardly part, it's almost, it's not breaking off here as much as it is in development in U and U, but it is already a separate thing. And why do I need this? Because the French word is actually something completely different. As I said, it's œuf. If I start to describe œuf, and you can see that the focus is no longer lying upon the outer edges. That something is breaking off. It is something, there is something which you can see. There's a consistency coming out. It seems that it is focusing on a very different aspect of the egg. It is like it's what is coming forth from what you can do with it. So the French are clearly focusing upon a different aspect of the egg. But that is the oral part. Let's look at how the word has been written. There's also it has been written as O-E-U-F, so that aspect we have to deal with as well. The O is written down, so there is a focus on the O. There's an environment there that has a focus. So let's focus upon the written letters. We have the O plus E, and then also the F. As you can see here, when we compare it to the reality of, I think we have already something else. It's not focusing like on egg, on the shell, on A, on the form, on I, on the differences in the form, but F is really breaking the egg apart, and it is laid on the table how we can use it. The œuf is the focus on the French cuisine, of course. That's the main focus on the eggs. They're not, half of France is not focusing on the egg like farmers looking for the eggs between the chickens. Maybe they do it over here, but here, no, they are busy with the egg, with the plate, and we have a nice œuf in the plate. As you can see here, œuf is this French egg, which is different from the English, German or Dutch egg. Let's go to the next thing. Let's see if in Italy they have the same cuisine. Uovo. You have uo, so the u is the down, so it's pressing down with the o, the environment that is focused upon, and the vo is also pushing it forward to the larger environment. Does they do that just like the French? They have all kinds of purposes to name the egg as uovo. Uovo is not just the egg as the O, pressed out to a bigger size. Whoa. It's opera, like in every word in Italy. It's the egg is the middle part and the large part, and we have also, if we like, a very nice egg on your plate. Uovo fits with all these things.
Let's go to the Japanese. Japanese word is tamago. It's something different. I don't know if I can recognize already the breaking of the egg in the letters here. I leave that for later interpretation. But let's see what tamago is describing in the letters. As most of the letters, they're always based upon the square of the 4 seasons, let's say, and it is somewhere that we have it in that system. I'm not going to talk about that system yet, but tamago is focusing upon one part, and the g, as you can see, the shell is at the edge with tamag, and o is the environment around it. Could that fit with the egg? Maybe in a way, yes, we could fit that in the egg, but it is also there. There is this there is a consistency in there with the and then the g at the end, and the ta is giving it a function. So it is giving a function to the egg. So also there, the egg as tamago clearly is used also for some purposes. And it is already thinking about what kind of purposes can I give the yellow part or the white part. I think they're already busy preparing something with the egg, I'm sure. Okay, it was a bit I was very quick in associating these words. Is it always 100% proof of all of this? No, it isn't. It is just a bit playful, but there is a way that you can associate the letters and the letters themselves with forms, and that's the main purpose of this video. Try to recognize these things, try to put them in the right order, make them fit. Make them fit even. It doesn't matter, because all the words will fit as long as you know what you can do with it. You can't do everything with it, not at all. But there is a certain range what you can do with it, and coincidentally, the whole range of what you can do with it fits within the range what you can do with the objects that you name. And that's the weird thing. I can't discover it. Maybe it didn't discover it here in this video yet. So, but you might have discovered that the French like the eggs on the plate. Is that a truth, a really hidden truth that is hidden behind the words? Who knows? Anyhow, you can learn this method yourself just by going through the whole book. You don't have to understand even not anything from it, but what you have at the end in the back of your mind, in your unconscious mind, will be enough to start to focus on the world differently. And I hope that I can achieve that by my study and by these videos as well. Anyhow, this was another video. Thanks for watching. This was Gerald Johan van Wans. There's a website too, not always updated as quickly, but you also have the YouTube channel with which you can learn and have some instructions and examples and so on. Thanks for watching. Bye bye.